I want to say thank you to all of my Patreon supporters who help support the channel. Also, I want to say thank you to my Twitch subscribers. Help the channel out by donating or go to patreon.com. Thank you.
All right. And so, fuck, this is so fucking arbitrary, but I have to say it. Um, and I know, if you have to tell somebody that you're something, chances are you're not. So yeah, let's get that out the way. Make you laugh, jokes, comments, and shit like that. But I'm somebody who's on the left. I am a leftist. May not be full communist because that theory is written about 160,000 years ago, and with it being so long, it doesn't have to contend with current modern realities and politics. And I've actually said this repeatedly, that certain things that we can look at, different things that can evolve and come up with different ways of looking at things. And with me being on the left, I think that one, being on the left, everyone should be in my perspective of why I'm being on the left. And I've had videos out recently where I say that you shouldn't be on the left just because you're not straight. You shouldn't be on the left because you're not white or you're not a man or you're not cis. That's not the reason why you should be on the left. You shouldn't be on the left because you were made to feel like an outcast. You should be on the left because you want to minimize harm to people. You want to make sure that people are not harmed. You want to make sure that people are able to live in the freedom of having democratic control over things. I think you should be on the left because you shouldn't be held down by the cruel restrictions of, well, we did this so long ago. What is it? Tradition is just peer pressure by dead people because we've always done it, so we need to keep doing it. And that is also one of those things where the reason why I'm on the left. I feel that we should always reach out to people, and even if you're religious or non-religious, you should reach out to people to be on the left because, dude, having freedom to be able to be who you are, or to minimize harm, or to give more people choices and options, or something that is just anti-authoritarian, that that is what we need to be able to do. And I have an issue with some of the arguments that some leftists actually make when addressing men's issues or addressing how we should respond to it, because in the end, it's okay for cis straight white guys to be on the left. It is. They can be that way. As a matter of fact, we want them on their side, on our side. We want them to look at the world the way we look at them. That's a thing that should happen, because what we want, and just like uh damn it, Tubera said, because the way the screen is, you know, people need more. They need Social Security. People need to be able to have the freedom, economic freedom, that we all should have. But when I hear arguments like the one that we're gonna see today, and the way it's addressed, I get a little bit. It gets me to a point where it's just like, stop, please stop, address the concerns. And not to say that the guy who's making the arguments is doing it correctly. No, he's a total dumb fuck. And yeah, no, that's really a thing. But we should be better with this. But let's go.
Calling from an international number +91 +91. I think I'm picking up your call. Who's this where you're calling from? If you can hear me.
Yes, this is Yash from India again.
Oh, Anyesh from India. Hi, how are you? How are you?
Now, we're obviously going to talk about how India is really right wing right now under Modi's government. Really right wing. Even though they had one of the largest motherfucking worker strikes in history recently, like a couple years ago, they're fighting a culture war. And ironically enough, Bo of the Fifth Column made a video that they're looking to be a central power in Asia, which, yeah, sure. Take it as you will, but yeah, they're kind of going right wing right now. But let's go.
Yeah, so, well, why I called in. So the last time I called, uh, you mentioned about, well, I mentioned some things and you mentioned some things in return, right?
Yes, I think that's how it went.
Yeah, so your point was that the overall, it's not, it's not bad against men, right? That was your point.
So he's trying to set up the straw man that they're bad things against men. And let's be honest. We have to be honest with this assertion. Yes, there are bad things that happen towards men. There are bad things that happen towards a lot of groups. And just because it's bad things, and in some cases worse bad things that happen with women, doesn't disregards the bad thing that happened with men. For instance, a common red pill or manosphere talking point is, oh, in a divorce, a woman gets to take the man's money and then take the kids. And my common retort is this, and I don't really see a lot of guys making this, even the people on the left. When a child is young, a baby, how much care do you give them? Oh, that's a woman's job to do that. You've defeated your own argument. When you're married to a woman, do you let her work? No, she needs to stay at home and be in the kitchen, barefoot, pregnant, with my sandwich when I come home. So she doesn't have any income, but the fact that she's married to you. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this, and I know this is gonna piss some people off. If I ever marry a woman or women again, more than one, they're gonna have a job. I'm sorry, I would marry a woman with a job, and she's gonna keep that shit. And I don't plan on having any more kids. But no, like if I marry a woman again, she's gonna have a job. I'm sorry, you're not gonna wait around cleaning the house up, waiting for me to come home. I do not want to be the center of somebody's world like that. So yeah, she's gonna have a job. And you know what? Look, joint custody is a thing. I actually, and I will say this: I don't have joint custody of my daughter, but I still have visitation rights. The longest I went without seeing her really was because I didn't have a vehicle to go see her like I needed to. But I did not fight that. I did not fight, oh, she needs to live with me. Like, no. Even when it came to child support, I don't care about paying child support. I have an issue with how much it is, but that's based on the laws, not the fact that I have to pay it. It's just a thing. I just don't get that. And it's not even that, oh yeah, my ex, like, no, it's like, we don't make enough money as we need to survive, so extra financial burdens are just harmful. That's just a thing that happens. With a lot of these guys' problems, especially when it comes to the family court, is that bitch don't have a right to leave me, and I don't want to have to try and find somebody new. That's what a lot of the guys' issue is. But that's I'm getting sidetracked. Let's go.
I'm sorry.
overall.
That American society is not structured as in a way that is biased against men. Yes, that was my point.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah, so I disagree with that.
I know.
I would like to mention. Yes, I would like to mention another issue. So, I mean, maybe I can convince you that despite the abortion thing,
Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead,
maybe
Anya.
overall it is worse.
Go ahead.
So you know about circumcision?
You heard that right. American society. The contention was that American society is geared towards men's oppression versus women oppression. And one, I find that is a stupid conversation to start off with, because you shouldn't be judging a society by how many oppression points that you fucking have. You should address each particular issue based on how it affects what that issue is affecting. That's just point blank, period. And secondly, the whataboutism, because women have abortion rights, control over their body, means circumcision is bad. Those two things don't equate. And if you go with the tenuous claim that because a man doesn't have any consent to circumcision, so thus we should stop circumcision, well then, quite frankly, make that without even addressing abortion. Make the motherfucking claim that we should stop circumcision for most males out there. You can do that with addressing the fucking abortion issue. Now, I haven't seen this. I just saw the clips of this. But I just saw a little bit of it, and just a little bit further. This is where I'm going to actually go with this. So I'll tell you to the point where I got to, and then we can see how if this resolves a different way. So let's go. Our society is set up to protect women and children, in which men of God do not define as oppressive. Okay, Jill.
I've heard of it. Yes.
Yeah, so it's genital mutilation, right?
Yes, full stop, point blank, circumcision is genital mutilation. Full stop. End of story. You're right. It's genital mutilation. Full stop. That's how you answer that question. Without any pause, yes, it is. Why do we do circumcision in the U.S. where most people aren't religious Jewish people? Because fucking John Kellogg thought it was a way to stop men from masturbating. I am dead serious. We do circumcision because John Kellogg thought that it was a way to stop men from masturbating. Yes, Cornflakes guy thought that if you cut the foreskin of a man's penis off, he will not jerk his shit. He also thought giving you bland food and shit would also make you not want to jerk it. You're just going to be bored. And what's the thing that you do when you bored? Well, you play with the natural magical wand. But we're going to cut the skin off because reasons. Now, even if you go back to the religious context of circumcision, it is literally genital mutilation for the higher purpose of God. But it is genital mutilation, full stop. We have to be honest about that. It is genital mutilation, full stop. It has no bearing on, oh, it keeps the penis clean. Oh, it keeps this. Like, no, it's genital mutilation, full stop. It was done under the principle of, hey, maybe if it's cut, he won't touch his penis. And as a penis holder myself, no. Well, it helps to keep it clean. No, it doesn't. As an uncircumcised guy, I've never had a UTI because I know how to wash. I know how, again, to wash my ass, and when I mean ass, I mean like my whole body. Even as a little kid, it is full stop unnecessary cosmetic surgery. That's what we should actually have that conversation with. Not as, oh yeah, I gotta defend against it because giving that ground, like, no, full stop. It is unnecessary. But what if it looks weird? I know a few women who says they're not gonna date an uncircumcised guy. No, bullshit. They still do. Oh, but it's the joke about the, okay, so what? You're not gonna fuck me because I have a natural piece of skin on my penis like I normally should have? Okay, maybe you're not the person that deserves my dick. But full stop. Is circumcision genital mutilation? Yes. Full stop. Yes. But let's continue.
I guess in the technical sense.
And this is the reason why I had a problem with this video. No, it's genital mutilation. Full stop. Full stop. No, in the technical, yes, it is. Should we do it? No. And you know what? Here's the thing. If the foreskin is, if it's a medical reason, unless it's absolutely necessary, then yeah, you should probably do something about it. But full stop, most people don't need it. Most people don't need it.
So overall, I mean, that does imply, I mean, that's a big deal. So
Does
I mean, overall,
circumcision
I can say the net is
does circumcision make sexual intercourse painful for men after that happens?
I think that's not the only issue. I mean,
Then what is the issue?
That's not the issue. It's not. It's not the issue. Is it done for an arcane reason? Is it done for an arcane reason? Yeah. Do most men need it? No. Let's go.
In the moment when,
Because you know that for female
Well, in the
circumcision, which
moment-
does happen in the world, the clitoris is sometimes chopped off. Sorry to get a little graphic with you, Agnieszka. And the women's organs, reproductive, or like, I don't want to get too graphic here, but their pleasure center for sex is removed from their body through surgery, and then sex is incredibly painful. So there is really no analogy between male and female circumcision.
There is. It was originally done for religious purposes and is in no need to be done. And this is what I mean by, and I know I said it, a lot of people on the left define themselves by fighting the right. This is why I went on that whole little diatribe before. And this is to the point where I was like, yeah, this video, I'm going to have to say something about it. I am not defined about, oh, I need to fight the right because fighting the right is a thing that needs to happen. Okay. This type of fighting the right is to push and pull, the pendulum swinging, it needs to go this way, ebb and flow. Like, no. Guess what? You can fight the right by just being a wall that constantly moves forward, not giving a fucking inch. The reason being because circumcision is not necessary for a majority of people. Full stop. This video could have ended right here. They could have done the little out intro. That's the thing. Stop. Stop. Stop belittling man's issues because you feel they have enough power as it is, so you need to take away their power. And what, like, politics and policies, in some cases, are two different things, and this is one of them. Politics are not a zero-sum game, but policies, politics are a zero-sum games. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose, but policies are not. You can clearly say, you know what? We have no science to prove that this is beneficial to all men. It is aesthetic for most men. Let's stop doing that. That way, you're not battling the right over a point. You're taking the point away from them. You're not fighting a war. You're taking a point away from them. It is a constant push. It keeps going, and this is not a ground. This is not a battleground anymore. You have salted that battleground with the fact that it does not need to happen. And I think with a lot of men's issues, the left can win on a lot of these issues because there's no more battle. But let's continue.
Yeah, I mean, you never failed to complain about female genital mutilation in other third world countries. Meanwhile, your own country has this problem. Well, I mean,
I don't think it's a problem.
the reason this is you don't think circumcision, male genital mutilation is a problem, but female genital mutilation is a problem, correct?
Well, because one of the genital mutilations causes a lot of pain, and the other one makes it like a tiny bit less pleasurable to have sex, and it doesn't really have an effect on their lives.
Well, I mean, well, first.
And this smugness is just like, acknowledge what he feels is the problem. The left, we actually feel like we have more empathy. Acknowledge what he feels is the problem. Now, and I'm not saying that Emma doesn't make any great arguments before, but you know what? She doesn't have any power to actually go and rewrite the motherfucking medical books, even though the science is behind where we probably shouldn't do as many as we do right now. Just to say, like, hey, you know what? You're right. This is a practice that we should actually stop. Because it was just born out of one guy's misunderstanding that if we cut the foreskin off of a penis, that'll stop people from touching it. That ends the conversation. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Unless medically necessary, I don't think that you should go in and just genitally mutilating anybody. It's a thing, you know? You shouldn't have to do it. That's color me an extremist, but if you don't have to do a medically necessary treatment, you should not do it. I know, right? Weird, right? And I'm not just saying this because I wasn't circumcised, but like, yeah, you shouldn't have to do it. It's not a thing that has to happen. But let's continue.
First of all, it seems like you're minimizing the issue, and well, it does cause a lot of pain. First of all, in the moment when a baby is getting circumcised, you know, they do not give anesthesia to them. So,
Anish, are you circumcised?
No, I am from India. I'm not.
I am. I don't remember the pain because I don't remember the pain because I was an infant, and I'm 27 years old, and I've never had an issue with my penis regarding.
I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. This is disregarding somebody's, even if it's a false assumption, even if it's perceived but not true, issue. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. What? I don't. I don't. If you feel that, if you feel seriously that it doesn't matter, just actually just say, yeah, maybe we should stop it. But this whole thing about, and like, and we on the left, we actually see it. Like I we see it. We see it. We see the tendency to want to own the libs, own the left. But this is an argument that you don't need to have. And yet, Sam Cedar is Jewish. Yeah, he is. And you would hear him do his practices of Judaism. And no, if it was for a religious reason, if you feel that, hey, this is religious, and this is how you feel your closeness to your God, I still would kind of have an issue with it, because your child didn't make that decision. But like, yeah, that's at least putting the weight of your immortal soul on it. But just to say, like, it's no scientific thing, we're just doing it because, hey, well, his penis should look like mine, like the whole Adam rules everything type skit that was done. I have a problem. Well, you don't remember the pain. You should just go ahead and get it done. Sure, let's go.
So as long as a baby does not remember pain, so does that mean the harm is not a big deal? I mean, by that logic, raping a child is not bad either, because it's not going to remember the pain either.
Context. I think it's a pretty remarkably different.
But you opened yourself up to this this whole thing. You opened yourself up, and this is what I'm talking about. Leftists making arguments and actually knowing why they argue. This did not need to be an argument. Knock down this point and moved on to the next one. You're right. Circumcision is genital mutilation for men. And even inside a religious context, they're not shy about it. No, it is genital mutilation in the explorations of connecting with God, but it is no means not less than genital mutilation. Now, yes, if you have a medical decision because I do know of a kid who, because of medical issues, he had to actually did it later on in life. But yes, other than that, you don't need to get circumcised. You're absolutely right. Let's stop the practice now. End of the conversation. But because, well, babies don't remember it, so it's okay. You don't have to go down that situation. You don't. But let's continue.
Different context.
Well, so do you also think that kicking a baby is not a big deal either, because it's not going to feel the pain either, right?
So circumcision is not. Did you know that in the United States circumcision is not required by law?
Well, the fact that it is allowed at all is a problem.
Really?
Yes. Really, yes. Tradition is just peer pressure by dead people. And if you know that it's not required by law, then you should also know why it's widely practiced. And if you know why it's widely practiced, then you should be against it as well.
And yeah, I mean, if female genital mutilation was not mandatory but was allowed, it would still be a problem, right?
I guess. but I would not
Yeah, so
say that this is
same.
okay. Go on.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it does cause a lot of pain. I mean, they're skinning alive a child's genitals, and it's not even under anesthesia.
Okay. Let's just say, sure, we'll agree on this. Outlaw circumcision in the United States. Now, what is another example of
5 minutes, where, so 3 minutes of conversation that did not need to happen. They did not need to happen. Knock down the stupid talking point and move to the next one. That's it. That's all you had to do. And not saying dismissive, just like, oh no, we don't need to do it. It's like, no, you're right. The person who came up with it was a fucking religious crackpot. And yeah, no, the stupid reason why he said it was stupid. So you're right that this one particular issue, you're right on. And we should stop this. Point blank, period. That's a conversation that did not need to happen. Okay, let's go.
of male discrimination in this country?
Well, I mean, the point is that this is a big deal. So, I mean, overall, I think I would disagree on the last the main point you said last time, that well, overall, the women have it worse.
See, this is where you could have actually let him start. Comparatively speaking, is the pain between male genital mutilation and female genital mutilation, are they comparable? No, like obviously, if you're cutting out the pleasure centers of a woman's woman engaging in sex, it's bad. It's worse because they not only cut out that part, but they also start to do other mutilating things. Like, no, it's fucking bad, and that doesn't stop the whole thing of it should not be done for either party. It shouldn't. And again, I want people on the left to have just better arguments, to just think things through, other than just reflexively responding to, oh no, it's mutilation. We have to beat the man. We have to beat this at this argument. Like, no, stop. Don't stop. Actually address the argument and beat that argument like, beat it like you a dick. Like, all right, let's go.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
they-
because of circumcision of babies with penises, which they don't really remember, and then
Don't throw that part in. Just stop. Because again, it's about owning this guy. Like, no, you're not looking good the way you're having this conversation. Stop. Don't. All right, let's go.
in some ways has hygiene benefits, but if you want to make it outlaw, if you don't agree with it, that's okay. What else?
You are literally just advocating for it. Oh my God, you're advocating for it. You don't get. You're just like, man, it has hygiene benefits. And here, I can make that disgusting argument about female genital mutilation. It keeps them from being whores. So it's the hygiene benefit of them not being whores. Like, you don't want to have that argument. You don't want to give credence to somebody making an equal argument about it. Stop.
Is another
Just
example
another-
of male discrimination in this country.
Well, I mean,
You still there?
how much is enough for you?
I would like another example because there are plenty of medical discrimination elements in that women literally face as adults, including right now the right to an abortion has been made illegal in this country in many states.
Well, I mean, yeah, you mentioned it earlier.
All right, so Yeah, I just saw this and it's just like it really irritated me just the way that it was just dismissive of this guy's opinion about it. And you could have started the argument saying like, no, circumcision in most cases aren't needed. So yeah, you're right that we should probably stop that. Um, but with that being said, what does that have to do about abortion? Give him the periodic victory of saying that, you know what, you're right. We should not have to circumcise as many men as we do based off of just tradition. Call it a day and then keep going. That is 5 minutes of a conversation that you did not have to have. All because we have to win on this point. That circumcision is necessary? No, I'm sorry. And again, this is not the shit on the majority report. This is a way I see a lot of leftists make arguments about things. It's like you don't talk to real people. You have a conversation on chronically one line left and right people. They don't have, a real person conversation. But anyway, guys, I'm going to cut this video segment here. Like, share, and subscribe. Try to hit 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of June 1st. Help me by subscribing and sharing the channel. Like, share, subscribe, and all that. And we're going to cut this video segment here. All right.
If I gave myself the power, where would I be? Was I